What's up, family? What's up, man? Come on in, come on in. Give you guys a little bit to get up in here before we get started. What's up? What's up? What's up, babe? Hey, can you give me some more of this, please? I want yours. I'm Global. What's up? Scorpio lady, what it is? Sons of the Most High, what's up? Empathy is a superpower. Man, yeah, it is. Yes, it is. We're going to talk about that today. No, it's not. It's sunny and clear out here today. What's up with you, Paul? Scott, Big Sky, what's up with you? Haven't seen you in a while, Big Sky. I hope and pray all is well with you. Thank you, babe. Carter Brown, what's up? Man, family, we're going to go ahead and get started. On behalf of my mother-in-law, man, may God continue to bless each and every one of you that come on this live. For those of you that catch this on the replay, may God bless you as well. What's up with you, Sean? Workout. Empathy, empathy, empathy. Man, the world would be a lot better if more people was empathic. What's up with you, Trina? I'm sorry. Man, years ago, I was in the Air Force, and I had a part-time job while I was working at Sony Studios down in Culver City. And I was a security guard out there. And man, they had Sony's, Columbia House, all these other movie productions there, right? And I was walking around one night and I sat there at the booth. And I don't know why, but I used to love writing poetry. I haven't written poetry in a little bit, but I used to love writing poetry, right? And one night I was sitting there and it was dark and cold, and it's like, dang, you know what? I'm gonna write a poem about a woman being pregnant, you know, and struggling with abortion. You know what I mean? This young lady, and I didn't know anybody at the time, but in my mind, I just felt like I had to write this poem about this young lady struggling with the choice of whether or not she should abort the baby or carry the baby to full term. I'm not a woman. I've never been pregnant, obviously. I didn't know anybody at the time that had an abortion, you know what I mean, or that's gone through that procedure. And man, but I felt like I need to write this poem. For whatever reason, I needed to write a poem from a woman's perspective of struggling with abortion, you know, whether or not she should abort this child. And this, some of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight, right? And it's true because most guys can't comprehend how women feel. Most guys can't put themselves in a position. Most humans can't put themselves in a position of how somebody else feels. You know what I mean? And it's a trip because as I sat there and I was praying, I was like, God, I've never been a woman. God, I've never been pregnant. I've never faced this choice before. I've never had to feel this type of pressure. I know that I grew up religious. I know I grew up a Christian fanatic. Every fucking thing was a sin. You know what I mean? You couldn't fart. If you farted, you were going to hell because your fart stunk too bad because that was a sin. You know what I mean? Everything was a sin. And so I was trying to change my perspective, and I was like, God, how do women that's struggling with abortion, how do women that's struggling with carrying this child to full term, how do they, what's the pressure on them? You know what I mean? Because if you've never been in that situation, if you've never been empathic and never felt that pain, never felt that struggle, you really don't know how somebody feels going through that. You could sit here and talk about whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, and just for the record, for me, I'm pro-life for me, but I understand and I'm pro-choice for everybody else. Stay with me. I'm pro-life for me. I'm all about life. For me, that's my belief. That's what I hold to. But I'm pro-choice for everybody else. Man, it's your choice how you want to live your life. It's your choice what you want to do with your life. So I'm not going to put my expectations, my rules, my beliefs, my ethics, my values and morals. I'm not going to impose that on anybody else. Nobody on this planet should be opposing their religious or their life, their codes, their morals or values on anybody else. Not one of us should be imposing that on anybody else. None of us should be. I don't care what your beliefs are. How somebody else lives their life, that's their choice. As long as it's not infringing upon your right to live, man, I'm a constitutionalist in the understanding that, man, I don't care what you do. Live your life. As long as your life isn't imposing upon my life, as long as your life isn't stopping me or somebody else from living their life and pursuing their dreams in the pursuit of happiness, man, I don't give a damn what you do with your life. The founding fathers didn't give a crap what you did with your life. Go do you. Just don't stop somebody else. Just don't allow your beliefs to impose and stop other people and limit other people from being able to do what they want to do in life, from being able to pursue their happiness. And so now I'm sitting there at the booth this night, and this is like in 99 and early 1999. And I'm sitting there and I'm asking God, help me understand how a woman would feel. Help me understand how a woman struggling with abortion feels. She's brought up in a religious household where it's a sin. This is murder. And so she's struggling with that belief. But at the same time, she's feeling, I can't carry this child to the birth. I can't do it. I can't take care of myself. And I'm not emotionally, spiritually, intellectually capable or ready financially to take care of this other kid. And regardless of your belief system, it ain't about you. It's about each person that's carrying, each person that's struggling with that decision. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, God, I wonder how that feels. I wonder how that pressure feels. And so I'm sitting there and I'm asking God, I don't know what women have gone through because I've never been a woman. I've been molested by dudes. I've been beat down and abused by dudes and women growing up as a kid, you know what I mean? But I've never walked this planet as a woman in this lifetime that I can, you know what I mean? In this lifetime. And so I'm like, God, how would a woman feel? Struggling with this decision. And it's a trip as I'm writing this poem. Man, tears are coming to my eyes as I'm writing this poem. As I'm taking on the feelings of this young lady who's struggling. She can't talk to her religious family because they're going to tell her she's going to hell and she's damned and whoop-de-doo, but she's struggling with this. She don't know what to do. She's completely lost. Man, what do I do? And so she's just crying. And as she's crying, man, tears are rolling down my eyes as I'm writing this poem. Because I could feel her pain. I could feel her struggle. Never been pregnant before. Never been a woman before. And I felt this young lady's pain as I'm sitting there writing this poem about her life. An imaginary story. I didn't know anybody pregnant at that time. I didn't know anybody struggling with that decision at the time. I just prayed and asked God because I felt like I needed to write this poem. And so I'm asking, give me the feelings, give me the understanding of what this woman really feels like. Give me the understanding of what this feels like. It's easy for me as a guy to sit back and say, well, women should do this and women should do when I've never been a fucking woman. And I ain't got to go through the shit that they got to go through hormonal. You know what I mean? I don't have to carry or go through the shit that they have to go through on a monthly basis. I don't have to go through the cycles and all the other stuff. And so it's easy for me as a guy to sit back and pass judgment on a woman when I've never been a woman. And I don't know what it's like to bleed on a monthly basis. I don't know what it's like to go through the hormonal changes of being pregnant. So what gives me the right, what gives me the power as somebody who's never been there, who's never done that, who's never experienced it, to pose my will on them? I'm talking about empathy. Empathy. You don't have to agree with that person. You don't have to believe in abortion. You don't have to believe in any of that stuff. Can you empathize with that person? Not sympathize. Sympathize is where you just feel sorry for them. Man, fuck all of that. Man, we ain't asking you to feel sorry for somebody. Don't feel sorry for nobody. I'm asking you to be empathic. Empathize. That means, can you take on the feelings? Can you feel the pain? Can you feel the struggle of what that person's going through? What's up with you, Yamila? See, so often there's so many different causes in America, you know what I mean? All over the world, but especially in America, there's a cause for every damn thing. There's a cause for everything. And you ain't got to support every cause. I don't support every cause. Can you empathize with those people? Can you empathize with why they feel like they have to do this? Why they feel like they gotta fight this cause? Or why they feel like their life is meaningless? Or they feel powerless or voiceless? Can you empathize with them? Can you understand their pain and suffering? So many, we're so quick to judge somebody. We're so quick to impose our will, our wishes, and our beliefs on everybody else. Never even understanding that we're just as tyrannical as the people that we can't stand. Never even understand we're just as self-righteous and judgmental as everybody else that impose their will on our lives. We all want to be free. We don't want nobody telling us how we can live. We don't want religious fanatics telling us what we can do and what we can't do. We don't want the government telling us what we can and can't. We don't want nobody telling us shit. Man, as long as I'm not breaking y'all stupid ass laws, leave me the fuck alone. What me and my queen do in our house ain't nobody's fucking business. Fuck y'all. You know, I don't give a damn what y'all think. You know what I mean? And that's how life should be. Leave everybody the hell alone. Stop judging everybody. Stop walking around like arrogant, narcissistic, motherfucking self-righteous people and imposing your rules and your laws and your belief systems on everybody else. One of the things that I can't stand Christian fanatics that do that. You know what I mean? And I can't stand that. That's a trigger for me even to today because I grew up in that household. What's up with you, Rhonda? I grew up in a religious fanatic household. We didn't celebrate Christmas. We didn't celebrate none of these freaking pagan holidays. When we were Christian, we took Christianity to a whole nother level. We wasn't just a go to church on Sunday type of Christians. They stopped all of that. We started going to church on the Sabbath. We got super spiritual about the shit. We got super religious and fanatical about the shit. We couldn't watch TV from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday. We start keeping all the Jewish holidays. Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, all of these were pagan holidays. We couldn't even celebrate our fucking birthdays. And so I grew up in this religious fanatic atmosphere where we were judging everybody. All these other Christians are fake, and all these Christians going to church on Sunday, they're going straight to hell. And everybody eating pork, they're going to hell. And if you eat crabs and shrimp and any of that stuff, you're going to hell. If you eat catfish, you're going to, if you eat any of these things that's going against the Bible in the Old Testament, you're going to hell. And I don't care. Blah, man, we were fanatical about this shit. And as a kid, I didn't realize how fanatical about it we was. I didn't realize how judgmental about that shit we was. I didn't realize how accusatory we were. We got all these scriptures and we talking about God and love and whoop-de-whoop, and we ain't demonstrating no fucking love. We ain't demonstrating no fucking passion or mercy or compassion on anybody. Everybody going to hell, case closed, in the conversation. You don't go to church like we go to church. You don't read what we read. You don't dress how we dress. You listen to worldly music, you going to hell because you got the devil in you. Oh, the women were at the church I grew up, the women couldn't wear makeup. The women couldn't wear fingernail polish. They couldn't wear lipstick. They couldn't wear pants or shorts or gauchos. And so I'm telling you my experience. My sisters and cousins, they couldn't play sports because women couldn't wear pants back then. They definitely couldn't wear no damn shorts. Women couldn't show their damn legs. They couldn't wear makeup at all because that was considered having a Jezebel spirit. And if they wore a wedding ring, it could only be a simple band because you couldn't be considered worldly. You're supposed to be in the world, but not of the world. And having all these nice things was considered worldly. I'm telling you my experience as a child and what got me on the path of being self-righteous and judgmental towards everybody else. Because we looking at the Bible and we beating everybody to hell with the Bible. And so I'm struggling. And one of the things that got me changing in that was in 99 when I wrote this poem. And I'm sitting there and I'm struggling with, dang, because my religious belief system was like, this is not even a question. You don't abort no baby. But the evolving me was like, dang, how can I impose that on somebody else? How can I say somebody else is wrong for that? Who am I to say you're right or you're wrong for this? Who am I to say you're going to hell for this? I didn't like people imposing their wills on me. I didn't like people imposing their belief system on me. I was being a hypocrite. And the truth be told, the great majority of us are walking around as freaking hypocrites. Because we're imposing our beliefs on everybody else. We're condemning everybody else because they don't believe what we believe. We're talking about being empathic, putting yourself in their position, understanding their feelings, feeling their pain, feeling their struggles. It takes a different type of person to humble themselves and get outside of the box and to think like that, to be empathic, to feel somebody else's pain, somebody else's frustration, somebody else's concern, to feel somebody's trauma. And so as I'm writing this poem about this young lady deciding on whether or not to abort the baby or carry the baby to full term. And then she carried the baby to full term. Again, understand there was so much hype back then about women being on welfare and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. There's so much drama associated with young women growing up and having babies and just being on the system. And so this young lady's struggling because she can't take care of her own kid. She can't really take care of herself. How is she going to take care of her kid? So should she give this kid up and wait until she's ready? Because she struggled with so much, because in her mind, I'm damned and I'm cursed because I've had sex out of marriage. I've had sex out of wedlock. And so I'm already going to hell. God's already going to punish me because of her religious belief. God's going to punish me because I had sex before I got married. And so she got this guilt that she's beating herself up with. She's killing herself because of this belief system that's fucking her up. Because she had sex outside of marriage. And the result of that, now she's pregnant. And so in her mind, God is punishing her. God's punishing her. That's how she saw it. God ain't got shit to do with her having sex. God ain't got shit to do with her carrying his baby. But she's looking at it because of her religious indoctrination, her religious program, that she's being punished. And man, what is everybody going to say? What is all the religious people going to say? What is all her family going to say? Because they're all in the church. And so she's a black sheep. She's an outcast. She's an indictment on the whole family. She's an embarrassment to her family. She doesn't want to be an embarrassment to the family. She doesn't want to bring shame and grief to the family. Nobody knows she's pregnant now. So she has the abortion. The family name will continue on intact. The family's reputation will continue on as this prestigious family, religious, righteous, godly family. And so she's struggling with that. And do I give this baby up? And so I'm sitting there as I'm writing this poem, and the tears are running down because I feel her pain. I feel her turmoil. I finished the poem. And I let somebody at work read it. Again, I was in the Air Force. I let this young lady read it. And she read it. And she started crying. And I don't even know why I let her read it. What's up with you, Gregory? I let her read the poem. I felt like she needed to read this poem. I wanted her to read this poem. She was a good friend of mine. And so I asked her, I said, hey, tell me what you think about this poem. I didn't know that she had an abortion. Nobody knew that she had an abortion. You know what I mean? And so, man, she was a cool person. You know what I mean? She seemed like a cool, wholesome person. She was a wholesome person. You know what I mean? She got pregnant, you know? And doesn't make you a bad person. And so, but she struggled with that. She was struggling with, man, and her name was Pam. And she gave the baby up. After she gave the baby up, man, the grief of giving the kid up. She was happy because her family name could continue on. She was an embarrassment to her mama and her daddy and all this other stuff. She was happy for them. But now she's beating herself up because now she's feeling guilty and shame for having, in her mind, killed her baby. She's happy for her family. She's miserable because of her choice. She's conflicted because of her choice. And so now she's tearing herself up. She's going through this silent war nobody knows about. She don't feel like she's shit. Because her religious belief system said, you were wrong for having sex outside of marriage. Now she's had an abortion, and so her religious group was definitely against abortion. That's the worst kind of woman, according to religious people. And so she struggled with that. All these people sitting there as happy and a success, and she's doing great in the military, and she's getting promoted and whoop-de-whoop, but they don't know her secret. They don't know the shame that she's carrying. They don't know the guilt that she's carrying. And so she doesn't feel worthy. She doesn't love or value herself. And so when she read the poem, I didn't know that it was going to trigger her the way it did. I didn't know anything about her past. And she began bawling, just bawling. And I'm frustrated because, again, I don't know what happened to her. I don't know what she's going through. But she's reading this poem and she's crying because it's her. It's her story. And she's broke. How the hell does he know? How can he put in poetry how I've been feeling for these years? He don't know I had an abortion. How does he know this? And so she's crying and she's shook. And so she's asked, why did you write this? Did God tell you to write this to condemn me? Did God tell you to write this to make me feel bad? And it's like, no, not at all, Pam. No. And so it brought about great conversation. It brought about a great release for her. She was able to begin healing. Why? Because somebody didn't stand in judgment of her. Somebody knew her pain and her struggle. Somebody was able to empathize with her. Family, I've shared with you guys in the past. Man, I was totally against homosexuality. You know what I mean? Man, I'm condemning all homosexuals to hell because that's what I grew up in. That's how I grew up. Had no respect for any homosexual. And there's a trip because in, I want to say like 86, I was still in high school. I was a sophomore in high school. And we went to Santa Cruz, University of California, Santa Cruz, right? And there's these people there. And I was part of this group called UCOs, like University College Organization or something like that. They would take all these kids in high school that had college material. They believed that these kids could make it to a 4-year college or potential to go straight to a 4-year college. And so they would take them and they would take us to different colleges throughout California, and we'd stay the night in a big gym-like area, and we'd go to the different classrooms and sit in different classrooms and just see the college life, right? And so I'm sitting, we're in Santa Cruz. It's a group of us, and I'm like, the little knucklehead that I am, the little thug that I was, right? And so a group of people following me, young ladies that liked me and stuff at the time. And so me just being a knucklehead. And so we see these college kids walking, right? And they got these purple bands and all this other purple stuff, right? And purple's my favorite color. I'm Pisces. Birthday is February. So amethyst is my birthstone. And so I love purple, right? It's my favorite color. And so I see these purple bands and stuff that some of these people have, right? And so I'm walking up to these college students, right? And I'm like, hey, how can I get one of those bands? Those are cool. I want one. And it's like, oh, come march with us. Come march with us. And then I'm looking and someone's like, no, right? And so I look behind them, and that's when I see the big rainbow They had this big rainbow banner and just all this other stuff. I didn't understand. This is back in '86. This was before gay pride came out. This was before, the rainbow became the universal symbol, of gay pride. And so we didn't know anything about that. I'm just a sophomore in high school, you know what I mean? Completely oblivious to this stuff, right? But as soon as I saw these people, oh, hell no, you motherfuckers got me. Because something you can see they were gay. You can obviously see that a lot of them were gay, right? And it's like, oh, hell no, y'all got me fucked up. You know what I mean? I'm on one. I'm pissed off. What's up with you, Karen? I'm pissed off, right? And so I had this thing about homosexuals. You know what I mean? Man, damn, all of their asses to hell. Just send them out on the front lines of war. You know what I mean? Let them go die. Just stupid shit, right? Because I feel offended, right? These motherfuckers trying to give me a purple bag, a purple thing, and come march with them. I'm completely ignorant, not knowing what this was representing. And so, but it wasn't until, and I just shared the story maybe a week ago, how when my wife, my last wife passed away from breast cancer, this guy who was a homosexual, man, I felt when he gave me a hug and then he found out that she passed away. And I was like judging this guy and condemning him to hell and what do, because he was just real feminine, you know what I mean? It just irked me, you know what I mean? It's just like, ugh. And so when he asked me where my wife was at, and I told him that she just passed away, he just started bawling and crying and gave me this big bear hug. And in that moment, this is February 2016. And in that moment, I felt the presence of God. And I felt the presence of God just move from the top of my head to the sole of my feet. And what am I saying? Man, I could just feel this warmth go down from the crown of my head all the way down to the soles of my feet. And I realized that, man, that ignorance of being so homophobic was washed away. That one moment. Because this man gave me a hug. And it wasn't no sensual hug. It wasn't no sexual hug. It was none of that stupid shit. You know what I mean? But in my mind, at the time, as soon as he gave me this hug, the first thing I'm thinking is like, this homosexual's hugging me, and I'm creeped out by it. I'm creeped out by the fact that this homosexual man is bawling and crying in the store, and he's hugging me. You know what I mean? And I'm just cringing, just like, oh, just grossed the hell out. And then I felt the presence of God. I felt the presence of God. And I felt that judgment leave. I felt that judgment and that ignorance leave. Went on talking, we talked a little bit. And I was blown away by this guy. And what I mean, this guy was so loving and so compassionate. And again, understand, this was February 2006. My wife had just died 2 months prior. And so I spent all this time around all these religious people, all these Christians, right? And they're talking all this stupid shit about, man, God took your wife because, man, he wanted the prettiest flower back in heaven and he wanted another angel and all this stupid, superficial shit that people say, these stupid ass cliches, right? When they don't have anything to say, they say something stupid, right? And that's supposed to make you feel better. And I didn't feel the love from them at all. I didn't feel any empathy from these Christian people at all. I didn't feel any genuine compassion from these people at all. At all. And I felt more compassion, more empathy, more God from this homosexual man who I was deeming as unfit to be a man. I was deeming this guy and casting this guy in hell. This guy was getting on my last motherfucking nerves. You know what I mean? My last nerve. Just by the way he talked. Just by the way he carried himself. And when he embraced me and just talked to me and just held me and just bawled, I felt his empathy. I felt his genuineness. I never felt that from a damn Christian at all. And I grew up around them. I never felt anybody, any Christian. I've been around, quote unquote, great men of God, powerful, successful men of God, successful preachers with thousands of people in their church, tens of thousands of people in their congregation. And I've never once felt the presence of God from any pastor I've ever met. From any pastor I've ever met. From any bishop, any deacon, any evangelist, any mother in the church, nobody, no Christian has ever made me feel the presence of God like this homosexual. And God shook me when I experienced that. We're talking about empathy. So we're so quick to judge people that we don't agree with their lifestyle. We're so quick to judge people when they're not doing what we think they should be doing. When they have a different opinion than what we have. When their values are different from ours. When their religious beliefs are different from ours. When their political beliefs are different from ours. We're quick to judge them. We're quick to minimize them and invalidate them. We walk around and we see all these people and we blame everybody else. We call these narcissists. These are the worst type of people. And we go in on narcissists. We go in on narcissists. And we so rarely take a step back and empathize with them. We judge them, they're selfish, they're this, and we never take this time to empathize with their pain. We never take the time to understand what caused them to be the way they are. We're so fucking self-righteous and judgmental. We don't even give a damn what pushed this person on this path. What's led them to be who they are? None of that shit matters to us. But we're quick to point at that stuff out when it comes to us. Oh, I'm the way that I am because of my childhood. I'm the way that I was because I grew up in this abusive home. I'm the way that I am because I've gone through all these toxic ass relationships and I don't trust nobody. I'm the way that I am because my son was violated or because my daughter was molested. And so I don't trust no motherfucking person. And I'm the way that I am because I gotten robbed and raped and whoop-doo-doo. We got all the reasons to justify why we are the way we are. But we never take the time to empathize and understand why everybody else is the way that they are. Empathy, putting yourself in their position, feeling their pain, feeling their trauma. And the trip is, when we do that, the odds are we'll stop being so fucking self-righteous. The odds are when we empathize with them, when we feel the hell that they're carrying, when we feel the cross that they're carrying, the pain and the suffering that's been inflicted upon them, we won't be so fucking self-righteous and judgmental. You don't have to agree with all of the quote unquote groups and all the movements going on. But can you empathize with their struggle? Can you put yourself in their situation? Can you humble yourself and say, man, if I was in their situation? And in order for you to understand, you got to ask them some questions. You got to talk to them with an open mind. You got to take the time to get to know them. You see, we don't want to do that because we've already got them labeled as being less than us. We've already got them labeled as being beneath us. We already got them labeled as being worse than us. We already got them labeled as being our enemies. So I can't fuck with you. We have to grow up. We have to stop being so self-righteous. We have to stop acting like we got this shit all figured out. We have to understand, man, I need you, you need me. We're interconnected. We're all interconnected. We're all related. We're all one. We're all one. We're all one. When I was in the Air Force, I went in and I wanted to start this group before I got in the military. Me and a couple of my friends, we wanted to start this group out of California, BMM, Black Militant Men. Black militant men. And our philosophy, man, fuck the government. That was our philosophy at the time. Man, the government's had years of people that they could have talked to. You know what I mean? They've had generations that they should have listened to. I'm not my ancestors. We ain't putting up with this motherfucking bullshit. You ain't just stomping us the fuck out like you did them. You ain't lynching us like y'all did them. You not beating on us like y'all did them. Our mentality is like, fuck y'all. What y'all do to us, we gonna reciprocate that shit right back on you tenfold. You fuck up with one of us, you got the 10 of yours got to go. That was our mentality. Why? Because the only thing you understand is pain and loss. So every time you attack a black man, we killing 10 white men. Every time you attack and rape a black woman, we taking 10 of yours. That was our mentality. Why? Because we wanted some get back. Because my mentality, man, the worst people on the planet, the people who's caught the most hell in America has been black people. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. I was coming from a victim mentality. I was coming from a low frequency. I thought the only people that's caught hell in America was black people. Look at the hell we had to go through. I didn't know anything about my Native American ancestry. I didn't know that I had different tribes of Native American blood in me. And so when I went to Montana, one of the beautiful things about Montana, man, there's a lot of Indian reservations up there. There's a lot of native land up there, tribal land up in Montana. And that broke my heart. That fucked me up because it flipped my world upside down. Because I thought black people had it bad in America. But it wasn't until I went to some of the reservations and I saw how some of our Native American brothers and sisters live. And I started doing some research and just looking into the history of how the natives were treated. And you look at the lands that they're stuck on. It fucked me up. It fucked me up. How can we live in the greatest country in the world, the quote unquote, the freest nation in the world? And these people are stuck on these fucking empty ass, ratchet ass reservations. Not all of them. There's some reservations got big gambling. Not all Native Americans get paid by that. Not all Native Americans have that type of money flowing through their land and through their tribes. And so I'm looking at the tribes that don't have anything. I'm looking at the tribes. As soon as you drive on the land, you feel the hopelessness. What's up with you, Dee Dee? You see the emptiness. And my heart was broke. Because it was easy for me to just discard or discount discount my Native Americans. Oh, they're just fucking drunks and whoop-de-whoop. But it wasn't until I got on the land. It wasn't until I empathized with them. It wasn't until I went and saw firsthand and started experiencing firsthand what they were going through and what they had been through. I was able to understand, and it's damn. Empathize. Empathy. We don't need no more fucking religion. Religion has fucked the world up. In every fucking continent, religion has fucked this world up. Religion hasn't made us more loving. Religion hasn't made us more compassionate. Religion hasn't made us more giving. It hasn't made us more tolerant. Religion has divided us. Religion makes us self-righteous and judge everybody else that don't believe the stupid bullshit that we believe. Because there's a fucking arrogance that goes with religion. Oh, I'm Buddhist and I'm fifth generation from da-da-da-da-da and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I don't give a fuck. What are you doing for humanity? And that goes with every people, every religious group. I don't give a fuck about your religious group, your religious teachings. Yes, there are some good teachings in every religion. You can find some good principles, some good things to hold on to. In every religious group, I believe that. But that don't make you a better fucking person. What makes you a better person is you putting your religious beliefs to the side. You putting your fucking political beliefs to the side. You putting your fucking nationalism to the fucking side. And understand, man, you're a human being. I'm a human being. We're brothers, we're sisters. I don't care what country you're from. I don't care what nationality you have or you claim. I don't care what your sexual orientation is. We're family. We're one. We're one. We're one. How can I help you reach who you came here to be? How can I help you be all that you came here to be? Man, empathy. That's what the world needs more of. It's empathy. You can't have love without empathy. I'm saying it again. You can't have love and not have empathy. Everybody's talking about, man, God is love, and I just need God. I need God. I need God. I need Jesus. I need Yeshua. You need some fucking empathy. Because if you get empathy, you won't be judging everybody else. If you get fucking empathy, you won't be looking down on the homeless people. If you get some empathy, you won't be looking down on the poor and down and out. You won't be looking down on that person dumpster diving. You won't be looking down on that woman out there selling her ass. You won't be looking down on the strippers. It's arrogance and self-righteousness that goes with looking down on anybody. Anybody. Who the hell are we to look down on anyone? Anyone. Anyone. I had the privilege of working in some of the prisons in California as a counselor, as a substance abuse, anger management, domestic violence counselor, right? And talking to all these men, and I would go to the women's prisons and talk to a lot of the women, right? I've met a lot of good people locked up in prisons. I've met so many people that were good-natured people locked up in prison. I've met a lot of toxic ass, self-righteous, judgmental, evil motherfuckers free that ain't never been in trouble. That got degrees, got education, that got money. But we look down on all these felons. We look down on all these people in and out of prison system, in and out of jail. Oh, that's just a convict. They're just a criminal. You can't trust them. I would dare say probably the great majority of all of our fucking politicians in America are less trustworthy than a lot of the fucking criminals that we say are criminals that are in prison. I would dare say a lot of our politicians and religious people that's making all this money and that's robbing people and taking their money and giving them this false sense of hope and false sense of security and all this other bullshit. There's a lot more people strung out on drugs and in and out of the streets that are probably a little more trustworthy than a lot of these people. But because they got these $3,000 and $5,000 suits on, because they got these nice cars and they got all these people that's following them and listening to them and buying into the bullshit that they're spewing, we put them up on this pedestal as worthy, as role models. We have to get it together. We have to get it together. We didn't come here to judge each other. We didn't come here to tear each other down. We came here to understand why we went through all the hell that we went through and to turn that and help other people that are going through what the hell they're going through. That's why we came here. Not to inflict more harm, not to inflict more pain and suffering on other people. Just because they live in their life and it opposes what we believe. It opposes how we feel. It don't matter whether you believe in gun rights. That shit don't matter. You can pass all the stupid ass fucking laws you want to. You guys are passing these stupid ass fucking laws saying people don't need fucking AR-15s and all this other stuff. The fucking criminals don't give a fuck about what laws you pass. Those laws don't affect criminals. You're not hurting anybody, but the good Americans are the good people that's trying to live right. You know what I mean? You're passing laws. These fucking stupid ass fucking gun rights laws. You know what I mean? Criminals don't give a fuck about that. Criminals ain't gonna have no fucking paper trail. They're not gonna buy no gun at no fucking store and have it traced back to them. They gonna get their shit on the fucking street on the fucking black market like they've always done. And they don't give a fuck who has gun laws and who don't. Chicago has some of the strictest gun laws in the fucking world, and it's the #1 murder capital of America. Fucking Chicago. They got the strictest gun laws, and more people die in that raggedy ass fucking city due to fucking guns. How the fuck does that work? You're imposing your ignorant ass laws and beliefs on all these good American citizens in Chicago who want to have fucking guns to protect themselves. And they're not out there bothering nobody. They're just going to work doing what they got to do. But you want to pass gun laws because of what the fucking criminals are doing. The criminals don't give a fuck about your gun laws. They don't give a fuck about your laws, period. They're criminals because they don't give a fuck about the laws. Just because you pass more gun laws don't mean that they're going to stop. Oh, well, you know, they just passed this law. We might as well turn in our fucking guns. No, that's not how that works. We have to grow up. We have to stop imposing our fucking beliefs and our fucking values on everybody else, and then damning them and condemning them because they don't like what we believe. I see this shit so much on fucking social media where people are cutting each other off. Family members, biological family members are cutting each other's off over this fucking abortion rights shit, over this fucking gun law shit. These ignorant ass motherfuckers are allowing these stupid ass laws to come in and rip their families in half. Because I support pro-choice, I'm pro-choice, I'm pro-life. Oh, well, we can't be friends and we can't be friends. Oh, I'm unfriending you and I'm blocking you and all this stupid shit. And we do the same thing with every fucking agenda. Oh, I'm against homosexuals. I'm not accepting no homosexuals in my family, and I'm cutting you off, and I'm blocking you if you become a homosexual, and you don't get inherited shit. It's ignorant ass shit. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to stop playing the games. Stop playing their games. I made a video maybe a couple months ago where I talked about how certain entities and certain groups pushed the women's lib movement. These guys, these families didn't give a fuck about women's lib movement. They didn't give a fuck about women's rights at all. Women at that time in America stayed at home and raised their kids while the men went to work and brought home the money and took care of the families. But these entities said, fuck this. Let's go to war, send all the men to war, and send the women out of the houses and have them go work in these factories. And let's start pushing a divide and conquer. Let's start pushing a women's right movement. And I understand that guys, for the most part, was fucking ignorant as hell. Guys are cheating and disrespecting their women and all this other stupid shit. I understand that. And the women couldn't go nowhere for the most part because they were stuck and dependent on these sorry ass dudes to take care of them financially. So they felt hopeless and helpless. I understand that. But there are certain groups behind the scenes that was pushing this agenda. Pushing this agenda to get the women out the house to put them in the workforce. Oh, burn your bras and let your hair grow in your pubic areas. Let your hair grow in your legs. Let your hair grow in your underarms. And just tell the men, fuck you, we're free. And we'll do it. And women did that. Women felt liberated. They were burning bras everywhere. Power to the women. Power to the women. They didn't even understand they were being used and manipulated. They were being played. Nobody gave a fuck about their agenda. Nobody gave a fuck about their liberation. They were pawns in a bigger game. These entities wanted these women out of the house. They wanted the women out there working. Why? Because there's more women in the world than there are guys. There are more women in America than there are guys. And women was at home. But if we could put these women out here to work, man, look at how much more people we could fucking tax. And that's what it came down to. They didn't give a fuck about y'all having a right to vote. They didn't give a fuck about y'all having jobs, other than the fact that, man, now we could pimp the fuck out of you. Now we could rape you like we're raping the dudes. Now we could financially rape you and take all your money to the income taxes and state taxes and all this other shit. Y'all think it's for your liberation. Y'all think it's for you to be free. No, it's for us to get more fucking money and more people enslaved. Now, because you're out working, now we can start programming your fucking kids because you're not teaching them the morals and the values and the ethics that you are because you're too busy working. So now we got television programming coming on. And they're going to start manipulating and programming your kids. Now we got all these after school programs. Now we got all this fast food crap popping up. Why? Because you're too busy working. You ain't got time to be at home cooking healthy meals. So you're eating all this fast food crap and all this McDonald's shit and Taco Bell and Jack in the Box and Burger Crack and all this other stupid shit. All this processed meat. And we bought into that shit, thinking it was liberating us, thinking it was giving us more freedom. Because we failed to be connected to our greater self and see the bigger agenda. We never saw the bigger agenda. They don't give a fuck about homosexual rights and gay pride. They don't give a fuck about any of this shit. They want us divided. They want us fighting with each other, because if all of my energy is going to attack you and all your energy is attacking me and we're attacking each other, nobody's paying attention to these fucking crazy ass laws that they're passing. Nobody's paying attention to what the fuck they're doing, because all of our attention, all of our energy is going to attack and defend ourselves and attack other people whose views opposes ours. How the hell these politicians come in office and they ain't really got shit, but every one of them leave multi-millionaires. We have to wake up. We have to wake up. We have to stop fighting each other. We have to stop attacking each other. You don't believe in the vaccine? Okay, cool, so be it. Man, to each their own. Live that for you and your household. Stop attacking other people because, man, they feel like they have to get the vaccine in order to make this money to take care of their family. Don't blast somebody else and condemn them because they're taking care of their family and they're doing what they have to do legally to take care of their family. Whether you agree with them or not, you're not feeding their fucking kids. You're not paying their fucking mortgage or their rent payment. You're not paying for their fucking car. What gives you the fucking right to condemn them? Man, empathy. Empathy. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes. And when I say put yourself in somebody, don't sit there with this bullshit. Well, if I was going through this, I would do. No, empathy. Man, I need to understand and feel the pain, the struggle, all of the pain and struggle, all of your pain and struggle, not just this topic right here, but all the pain and struggle you've been carrying before that got you to this point, because it all coincides with the decision and the choices you're making. I can't just separate this right here from everything else you've gone through. All the other pain and suffering that you're carrying. Man, we got to get it together. We have to get it together. And for those of us in this quote unquote spiritual movement, you know what I mean? We're just as bad as these religious fanatics. We've become just as bad and toxic as these religious fanatics and these Christian people and these other people that we didn't want no parts of. We didn't want no parts of the Christianity movement, and they're damning everybody to hell and calling everybody a fucking witch and a fucking warlock and a devil and a demon and an evil spirit. We didn't want no parts of this stupid shit. So we start our own spiritual movement, our own spiritual stuff, tarot cards, oracle cards, charms, pendulum, sage, and all this other stuff, holistic healing and all this other. We're doing all this stuff, and now we're judging each other because you don't cleanse your crystals right, and you don't do this right, and you don't read these right, and you don't get this understanding with tarot cards right, and you don't shuffle your tarot cards right, and you don't cleanse your tarot cards right, and you don't drink moon water, and we got all this stupid shit that we do. to judge everybody else, to make us feel like we're better than somebody. I've been doing this for 25 years. So fucking what? What the hell has that got to do with how this person do what they do? So what? And then we got all these vegans and all these veggies. Well, if you're really spiritual, if you're really a chosen, you'll be a vegan. If you're really spiritual and a chosen, you'll be a vegetarian, and you wouldn't be eating meat. And what do you do? And the vegans and vegetarians are getting cancer like everybody else. What's your fucking point? You're dying and getting sick just like everybody else. What is your fucking point? You're damning everybody else because they don't believe and eat the way you eat. So you sit up on your fucking high horse like you're God Almighty, like you're the most enlightened person in the world because you don't eat meat. Because you eat this, and that, and so you're better than everybody else. No, the fuck you ain't. You're just as judgmental and self-righteous as everybody else. You just pick a different topic to be self-righteous on, to be arrogant on. We have to grow the fuck up. We have to stop being fucking hypocrites. It's one of the hard lessons that I had to learn in life. It's one of the hard lessons that I had to learn. It was the hypocrisy. We don't see it as hypocrisy because, man, this is values and this is morals and these are ethics and these are principles. Man, I'll die on this sword right here. And it's like, that's fucking judgmental. That's fucking ignorant. That's ignorant. Man, we gotta wake up. We have to wake up. And we're so convinced that we're so fucking woke. This is the most woke, back-assward fucking generation to be walking. You know what I mean? We're so fucking woke and so fucking blind at the same time. We're so fucking woke that we're too blind to see that we're still in the fucking matrix. We're walking around in the dark, just blasting everybody, condemning everybody to hell. Because we think we're woke. Because we think we're enlightened. Because we think we're kings and queens. Because we think we're star seeds. Because we think we're chosen ones. As if that gives us the right to judge anyone. As if that gives us the right to condemn anyone. If you're a chosen one, without saying, you should be with some of the most compassionate, some of the most empathetic people walking the planet. How can you say you're a chosen one? How can you say that you're a child of God and you're walking around judging and condemning everybody else? How can you say you're a child of God or a chosen one or a star seed or woo-doo-doo and you're putting everybody else in hell because they don't believe in pro-choice or pro-life or because they don't believe that you should have these types of guns or because homosexuals should be able to get married or whatever the fuck it is that y'all arguing and fighting over now? There's always something that they're going to keep giving us to fight and argue over. But we're so fucking woke, we're too stupid to understand. Next month is going to be something different. Next year, it'll be a different topic, but something else to keep us divided, to keep us fighting. There's always another something. There's always another agenda. There's always another agenda. We're so fucking woke and we can't even understand that we've been played. We're so fucking woke, we're too clueless to even see that they're running game on us. And they don't even have to do anything. They just put out the topic. And we're so fucking woke. We pick it up as generals and soldiers, and we're doing all the battling. We're doing all the fighting on their behalf. We're attacking everybody else. Man, we got to get it together. We got to get it together. We got to understand, ain't not near one of us perfect. We all have some areas that we got to work on. If you're not perfect and you accept the fact that you're not perfect, how the fuck can you turn around and condemn and judge somebody else for not being perfect? How the fuck does that make any logical sense? I know I'm not perfect, but I'm mad at you because you're not perfect. Man, family. I didn't realize that we're going to go in like we did. You know what I mean? I didn't realize that this was going to be this type of conversation. I knew we were going to talk about empathy, but I didn't realize that it was going to take on this tone. Family. Man, we have to wake up. If you love, then you got to love everybody. You can't pick and choose who you're going to love. You can't say, well, I love just black people. I love my black people. I love my Nubians. That's fucking just as ignorant as everything else. We have to grow up. We have to grow the fuck up. I'm never going to be on here pushing a black agenda. I'm never going to be on here pushing any agenda other than growth and development. Because I don't give a fuck about any of those agendas, because every one of those agendas are to keep us divided, to keep us fighting and arguing with each other. And as long as you're divided and arguing with each other, you're on a low frequency. It don't matter what the conversation is about. It don't matter what the agenda is. If you're arguing with somebody and going back and forth with somebody, regardless of what it is, gun rights, abortion, homosexuality, whatever, it don't matter. Whatever it is, that's keeping you on a low frequency, family. You can't be all that you came here to be on a low frequency. You can't be connected to infinite source, infinite wisdom, infinite knowledge, God, the most high source. You can't be connected to these things operating on those low fucking frequencies. My people perish for lack of knowledge. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. And I'm not talking about black people. My people, I don't give a fuck what country you're from. I don't care what identity you classify yourself as, you know what I mean? And there's so many different genders now. And again, that to each their own, I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? None of that applies to me. None of that matters to me. I don't give a damn. You could consider yourself a fucking rabbit, an elephant, a turtle. None of that shit mean nothing to me. I don't give a fuck. That ain't got shit to do with me. I just want you to grow. I just want you to reach your full potential. Man, do you? Do you? And stop judging everybody else. Do you? And stop focusing on everybody else. As long as you're focused on everybody else, you can't be focused on your growth and development. You can't sit here and focus on your shadow work. Focus on why you got anger issues and why you got the insecurities and why you're so self-righteous, why you're so fucking judgmental, why you can't empathize for other people, and why you can't and be focused on everybody else. You're fixated on this stupid, immaterial shit that's really petty in the grand scheme of life. We've got to get together. We have to stop judging each other. We got to stop condemning each other. And I know there's some people that don't like me cussing. I don't give a damn. I'm not going to stop cussing because that offends you. Go to another fucking channel. I'm not going to stop being me because you had a problem with it. You know what I mean? You shouldn't stop being you because somebody got a problem with that. I'm comfortable in who I am. I'm secure in who I am. I'm not perfect, but I'm secure in who I am and who I'm connected to. And somebody else's opinion about me don't mean shit to me. There's damn near 8 billion people on this planet. And most of them gonna have a totally different opinion on you. How the fuck are you gonna live your life and be happy and do all that you came here to do, and you worried about how all these people see you and what all these people think about you? No. 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 I got 7 kids. 7 kids, 4 girls, 3 sons. And I tell them, I don't give a fuck what they think about me. You know what I mean? Their opinion don't mean nothing to me because it's not going to stop me from being me. It's not going to change who I am. And depending on their mood today, depends on what they think about me today. I ain't got time for that roller coaster bullshit. I'm me. I'm comfortable in me. I'm focused on my growth and development. You work on your shit. You perfect your shit. Man, my hope and prayer is that we grow up and that we understand why we're here. And we're not here to condemn anybody. We're not here to judge anybody. Paul, what's up? How people think of me has nothing to do with me. It don't. At all. Man, I love you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for staying on this live chat. Again, I didn't realize that we was going to go the way we did, but thank you guys for being members of this tribe and being here on a daily basis. We love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.